Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We love sharing the holiday spirit, and we're honored to be joined by our good friend, Rob Hughes. He's the VP of Development with Porter-Leath. We're going to talk all about toy truck. But Rob, how are you doing, buddy?
Buddy, I'm doing great. Let me just say that I appreciate it. For those of you that don't know me, I promise I don't always look like this, but this time of year, I magically change into a adult.
Well, it is the holiday spirit, and we have a chance to talk about how you are going to bring the Christmas spirit, the magic of Christmas, to thousands of children here in the Mid-South. But let's start out Porter-Leath, long, rich legacy here in the Mid-South. So give us a little bit of history for Porter-Leath overall.
Sure. For those of you that don't know, we were founded in 1850 and have continued to serve the Memphis community ever since, on really making sure that children and families are served in our community through a number of different early childhood programs. So we still do foster care and adoption, but we're really known for those quality early childhood innovations like preschool, books from birth. If you're a parent of a child under age 5 in Memphis and Shelby County, you probably at least know us through Books from Birth. So we send out over 40,000 books every single month to children in the county, and a whole host of other programs.
When you look at the ability to engage and to work with literally all ages, from the very, very young all the way up to seniors, and engaging them as well, give us kind of that full life spectrum in terms of engaging and working with all these different age groups to really be able to make a difference.
Sure. So we call it stack services internally. So I mentioned we have a number of programs, but you touched on that. It's really allowing like our foster grandparents and our AmeriCorps members who are a little bit older, they're not in the early childhood stage anymore, but to continue to invest back in the community. So our foster grandparents, for example, each spend 1,000 hours a year serving in our centers, really being that extra relationship in the classrooms for children. It's always amazing what a 4-year-old might share with grandma or grandpa that they might not share with their parents or teachers, or if 4-year-old Rob is just having a few extra lucky charms today. Grandma can visit with me kind of to the side. And really, again, a great asset in our classrooms, and really provides opportunities for everybody to stay involved for the benefit of everybody.
When you look at literacy and brain development, youth development, all of these things, Head Start, early Head Start, you're working with thousands of kids. Go ahead and give a little bit of an illustration of what that's like, because you have some amazing facilities, and you even have the kind of train the trainer and all sorts of kind of enrichment on that side as well, working with the adults and the teachers to go in. So on that side, it's holistic and it's pretty amazing, but dive in a little bit on that side.
Sure. So we definitely follow that 2-gen model across our preschool program. So we serve 6 weeks all the way up to age 5 on that component of what we do, but it's making sure that children are academically ready to go to kindergarten when they leave us. But it is that comprehensive and holistic child development. So we focus in on nutrition, for example, making sure that every child receives a USDA approved breakfast, lunch, and snack all in the center. We know that for some children, that may be the bulk of the nutritional content they eat for that day. So we're really excited to be able to provide that, but it's also the family services piece. We know what we can do in the classroom is great. We know what we can do with families is great, but we've got to do both if we're really going to help families move towards independence and advance what they want for their family. You mentioned the Train the Trainer piece. Our Teacher Excellence program provides ongoing professional development, not just for our teachers, but also teachers and child care providers across the community, really at no charge to those providers. Again, making sure that we're enhancing our own quality, but the quality of providers in the community as well.
You recently opened a fairly new location, so give us a little bit of teaser on that.
Yeah, so we opened our brand new preschool, our Early Childhood Academy in Fraser back in March. Really exciting to be able to do that in the middle of the pandemic. Shameless plug, we were able to get volunteers back in person really soon, so we can connect on that later. And even more exciting, our Porter-Leath and University of Memphis Early Childhood Academy in Orange Mound should open in January. I was over there yesterday. We're putting the finishing touches on that for construction. Another amazing facility. All of our partners on that have done an absolutely wonderful job. But it's really sending that message of it's a great preschool environment and building, and that, wow, I get to go to school here, and it's really an inviting space and sets the tone for quality early childhood.
Give a little bit of a description on kind of the economic transformation, the neighborhood transformation, because when you look at what these new facilities mean to the neighborhood, it's becoming a catalyst. And I think that's an important element, is kind of the economic driver, the revitalization that's taking place as a part of your efforts as well.
Absolutely. And that's what we want to see that, right? So that's one of those core factors that we look at. We want to make sure that when we build a new school, it's in the heart of a need area. We also want to make sure that we involve the neighborhood throughout the design process. We don't want to build some huge building that nobody finds attractive for their neighborhood or nobody wants. So to get to see the community engagement and the involvement there, just how excited neighborhoods are that, what's going on. I love this building. Fraser is a great example of that. We had an older lady across the street that was watching it every day and checking in. And I think she checked in with us pretty often about how excited she was and what she thought of the building. It looks great. It's bright. It's an inviting space. I can't wait to see my grandchild potentially go there. So to get to see that is really exciting for us, and continues to replicate. This is Orange Mountain will be our third academy, and everyone keeps getting a little bit larger, but so do the number of partners that are involved on it. And that's what we want, right?
What's something that you wish everyone knew? We'll talk about Toy Truck, obviously, in just a second, dive in deep on that. But what's something else that you wish everyone knew about Porter-Leath?
Just the scope of our services and the scale of it and how many touch points that we have. Obviously a big advocate for quality early childhood experiences, but literacy matters, education matters. There's all sorts of ways that plug in, and Porter-Leath is here to help the entire community. If you have a child under age 5 and you're looking for a great preschool option, we would love to talk to you. If you're not enrolled for Books from Birth and you have a child that age, we would love to talk to you on that front, and so many other services. But just the impact that we're making, it's all evidence-based. It's proven models to success. It definitely feels good for us, but we know that we're having an impact and we can share that with the community.
This will segue us over into Toy Truck, but what has the pandemic done? Talk about the impact of the pandemic for not only Porter-Leath, but the families that you serve.
Yeah, and I think that last part has been really big. So we've been very fortunate. Obviously, there's a lot of pain points throughout the pandemic. We were able to move to virtual services immediately and continue serving, and that's something I'm very proud that we were able to do. I think the other big piece too is going back to our preschool model. Obviously, there's the classroom instruction. Virtual instruction for children under age 5 presents its own set of challenges on that front, but realizing that some families didn't have access to the technology to make that happen. But even those more immediate needs. So we talked about the comprehensive development and our holistic services. A lot of families had challenges with food or with housing, and we were able to step in during the pandemic and make those intercessions on that front and really make a difference for those families. We had one that's really stuck out for us as COVID has continued to play out. Had a family one afternoon on a Friday reach out, and they basically eaten the last of their food, didn't really know where dinner was going to come from. They were headed into the weekend, didn't know where the weekend's food was going to come from. We were able to provide within a few hours food for that family for the weekend, as well as connect them to a partner that's definitely in the food world of making sure that people have what they need on that front, because obviously that issue didn't happen overnight, but we want to help fix that issue going forward. So that's something we've been really proud of. Similar situations around housing as well for us. And I think for families, it's definitely been a challenge too. We've had a lot of families that income-wise, they may have seen a reduction in hours or complete job loss and coming back and career changes and all of that. But at the end of the day, if you don't have somewhere to send your young child, it's a quality education facility and is a safe place for your child, you may not go to work. So those go hand in hand.
And so I think that also paints the picture when you look at Toy Truck and the importance of being able to step in for these families and provide that magic of the holiday season. That's what this is all about, is showing and sharing love. And so let's go ahead and talk about Toy Truck. Give us a little bit of kind of the context around Toy Truck in terms of how long you've been doing it, and then we'll talk all about it.
Sure. So really special year for us. This is our 20th annual Toy Truck. It's a toy collection drive for us. We want to make sure that all of our preschool children get a new unwrapped gift for Christmas and the holidays, just knowing that without Toy Truck, some children may not get a whole lot during those holidays. So it's a great way for the community to get involved. It's also a big fundraiser for us. So funds that are donated get matched by our Secret Santa. We also have a great title sponsor again this year, an international paper that's really helped take this event to new heights and new levels. Really fortunate last year during the pandemic, we were able to make sure that every family and every child received a new unwrapped toy. I think in the 19 years of the event, that was easily one of our most critical, knowing that it really meant more to families during that time. So we were able to meet the need, and 2021 has been a little bit better for families, but it's still a struggle for a lot. So we're here to make sure that it happens again this year.
And so the basic kind of dates on this, December 1st through the 19th, you've got different locations. You also have the ability through Yuletide Office Solutions to basically have boxes kind of delivered where you can put everything in and then they'll come and pick it up. And so you make it very, very easy. Go ahead and talk about the logistics of how this works.
Sure. And we actually added something last year that we were pretty proud of as well, knowing that a lot of our offices may be working virtually or remote and may not be coming together to be able to host a toy box. The toy boxes are certainly there. Definitely reach out to Yuletide. They can get a box to you. They'll come pick it up, make it super easy for your staff. And it's a great way for your office just to give back to the community. For those of you that are not working in person in the office or working at home, last year we added some online wish lists through 5 providers. So Amazon, Macy's, IKEA, Target, and Walmart. You can go shop our wish list there. Those are pre-selected items by our teachers. So I can assure you that's what children want this season. You can add it to what you're already buying. Our address is already in there. It ships it straight to us. You don't even have to go to the store to pick it up and deliver. It comes straight to us. We get it right to a family. So that's really helped us. In addition, we'll be out for 3 weekends collecting toys across the community. If your office isn't participating and you don't want to ship anything directly, visit us at Poplar Collection out in East Memphis at Poplar and Perkins, the 1st through the 4th. We'll be at Channel 5 on Union the 11th and the 10th and 11th of December. It's a Friday, Saturday, and we'll be at IKEA Saturday and Sunday, the 18th and 19th. We have some other things pending for the holidays, so you will see us around town. Look for a big giant thing that says toy truck. It's a big truck that has toy truck on the side. And you never know, you might see Buddy the Elf standing next to it waving at you.
And so go ahead and describe, when you talk about the age appropriate gifts, kind of the ages, some of the gifts, give a little bit of an illustration around what those gifts look like.
Sure. So we do have toy ideas on our page, and I should have prefaced all this. You can visit us at toytruckmemphis.org. It has our wish list on there. You can access those. You can sign up, more info about the event. You can donate online financially if you want to. But for our toy ideas, it's really making sure that they're age appropriate. So for those children under a year old, really facilitating those gross and fine motor skills. So the wooden blocks that we all know and love, children love to play with those and really build those gross motor skills. Those are perfect for us. For the older children, something's a little more interactive. So maybe a soccer ball or a book or an age-appropriate doll. Any of those, we've got a long list there. We do have a few things that we can accept. We can't accept any toy weapons or used items just because we need to make them safe. But there's a short list of what we can and can't use on the website. But again, children love these toys. I think behind the scenes, what's fun for me is after Toy Truck going to Santa Central, as we call it, where we sort the toys and seeing what all has come in. Really a fun time for us.
What does it mean to the children and the families? I think, for many who deliver the toy, what is it like to be able to kind of see and get the testimonial from the children and the families? A
complete attitude of, just gratefulness of some level that, hey, my child's getting something, or this really helps my family out. Again, 2021's maybe a little bit better than 2020, but for a lot of families, it may not be. So we're able to really help families. That's one less thing off their worry list. I know you have kids, I have kids too at home. So there's always something that we need to worry. This is one less thing for parents to really need to worry about, or to know that PorterLeath is here to help on that front. From the child's eyes, it's definitely fun walking through the centers in January because it's, hey, Jeremy, what'd you get for Christmas and the holidays? Well, I got a new insert, set of blocks for this. Really? Did you get that at school? Yeah, I got it at school. Okay. And it makes you feel good knowing that, like, hey, we had a hand in this and really made this happen.
Carry that forward into volunteer opportunities, other events throughout the year. As you look ahead, obviously 2022 is right around the corner. What are some of those important time periods we need to have on the calendar? Because you do have some other big events throughout the year.
We do. We have a few. Thankfully, I don't dress like Buddy the Elf for those. I do have some other interesting headgear for that. But the biggest one that we're known for is our Raging Cajun Crawfish Festival. So we'll be back April 24th next year. This year we had it as a drive-through just because of COVID. Again, hopefully be back to normal. We've got a golf scramble the next day. I mentioned our new academy in Orange Mound. We hope to have a public grand opening, not a virtual one, but an in-person one in January. So stay tuned for details on that. But mid to late January, it's a great opportunity to plug in. And then we also hope to be able to host in-person volunteers. in the coming weeks. Because our children are under age 5 and haven't been vaccinated, we will ask our volunteers, they do need to wear masks. They do need to share that they're vaccinated, again, just to help us keep our children safe on that. But great opportunity as an individual or even as a corporate group to come in for 30 minutes or 3 hours or anywhere between. I know you and City Kern have been there a few times. It's always a blast. You get to be the big kid in the classroom. So you get to help with arts and crafts activity. You get to go out to the playground. You get to help with lunch. And our teachers are there throughout the day. Our children have an absolute blast.
You've been at Porter-Leath for a long time. How has Porter-Leath changed you and your perspective on just being able to make a difference?
So I think we're going to need more than 30 minutes for me to answer that, Jeremy, maybe a couple of hours, and definitely some notes on that. I tell people all the time it was fun because when I first started at Porter-Leath, I wasn't married. I didn't have children. Both of those have changed. And just seeing the impact, my children are 6 and 4 now. So to get to see the impact of early childhood all the way around and those positive experiences, just how much of a difference it makes for children. But also, I'm not too scared to admit, as a parent, it was my first child arrived. Now what do I do? Where's the instructions with this? So it was really great to work in an agency that I could go down the hall and talk to somebody about, how can I be the best dad possible? How can we be the best parents possible and be engaged throughout those opportunities and those milestones? So it's been really, really fun to be a part of it.
We'll wrap up with contact information. You mentioned it before, but talk about where we go to learn more about Toy Truck and then also Porter-Leath overall.
Sure. So Toy Truck, go to toytruckmemphis.org, and that'll actually redirect you to the Porter-Leath website. And then from there, just click the home tab and you can read all about Porter-Leath. And then my contact info, it's rhughes@porterleath, all one word, .org. And then feel free to call us at the main number. I'm pretty easy to track down. You can ask for Rob Hughes. If you ask for Buddy the Elf, you might get me. We'll see.
Well, Rob, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Jeremy. We'll see you.